Good morning, everyone. We live in a world where change is constant. The world keeps moving, evolving, and if we stand still, we risk falling behind. That's why improving ourselves every day is not just a choice, it's a necessity. Self-improvement isn't about perfection. It's not about becoming someone else. It's about becoming the best version of yourself day by day, step by step. Even small changes, when practiced consistently, lead to massive results over time. You don't need to wait for a new year, a Monday, or a sign from the universe. Every single day gives us a brand new chance to become stronger, wiser, kinder, and more focused than we were yesterday. Whether it's reading a page from a book, learning something new, reflecting on your actions, or simply choosing a better response, you're growing. That growth adds up. And soon you'll look back and realize how far you've come. Improvement doesn't mean being hard on yourself. It means believing in yourself enough to invest in your future. It means loving yourself enough to want more from yourself and for yourself. So I challenge you, wake up every day and ask, how can I be 1% better today? That question alone can change your life. Because when you commit to improving yourself every day, nothing stays the same. Everything gets better. One of the biggest misconceptions people have about growth is that it happens in big dramatic moments like getting a degree, landing a dream job, or reaching a fitness goal. While those milestones are worth celebrating, real self-improvement doesn't begin or end with those high points. It happens in the quiet moments, in the routines we build, in the decisions we make when no one is watching. Improving yourself every day means committing to a lifestyle, not an occasional project. It's not something you do once in a while when you feel motivated or when everything is going right. In fact, it's especially important on the days when things are hard, when you're tired, discouraged, or unsure. Because growth isn't about waiting for perfect conditions. It's about pushing through imperfect ones with a mindset that says, I may not be where I want to be, but I'm better than I was yesterday. This mindset transforms the way you see your day. You start to find value in things others might overlook. Waking up a little earlier to prepare for your day becomes an act of progress. Choosing to respond with patience instead of anger becomes a personal win. Saying no to distractions, making time to read, practicing gratitude, or taking care of your body. These seemingly small things become acts of self-respect. They are proof that you're serious about who you're becoming. When you treat self-improvement as a lifestyle, it also becomes more sustainable. You stop chasing impossible standards and start honoring your own pace. You realize that progress isn't always visible. Some days growth is choosing not to give up. Some days it's just showing up. But every one of those days counts. You also become more resilient. Life will throw challenges your way, setbacks, disappointments, even failure. But if you're committed to growing every day, you start to see failure differently. Instead of letting it define you, you let it refine you. You take the lesson and move forward with more awareness, more clarity, and more strength. Self-improvement as a daily process means you never stop learning. You never stop evolving. It doesn't matter how much you've achieved. There's always another layer to uncover, another skill to sharpen, another part of yourself to explore. It keeps life interesting. And it keeps you humble. The idea that dramatic change can only happen through major leaps is a trap that many people fall into. It's easy to think that to truly improve or achieve something, you need to make a huge noticeable shift, like changing your entire career overnight or completely transforming your body in a month. However, the truth is that lasting progress comes not from massive sudden changes, but from consistent small actions taken every single day. These small actions, though they may seem insignificant in the moment, compound over time to produce results far beyond what you could have imagined. Think of it like building a brick house. Every day, you might only lay one brick, but over time, those small bricks stack up and eventually form something solid and beautiful. In the same way, small actions in our lives can create momentum that eventually leads to big, life-changing results. For example, if your goal is to become more knowledgeable, you don't need to read an entire book in one sitting. You don't even need to read for hours each day. What matters is reading a little bit every day, whether that's a few pages or a chapter. Over time, those daily readings add up, and before you know it, you've read dozens of books and gained a wealth of knowledge. You didn't have to push yourself to do everything at once. You just needed to be consistent, even if your progress seemed slow in the beginning. The same goes for fitness. Maybe you're aiming to improve your health, but you don't have hours each day to work out. Rather than waiting for the perfect time to begin a full training regimen, you could start with just 10 minutes a day. Perhaps you begin with a short walk, a quick stretching routine, or a few bodyweight exercises. These small commitments done regularly lead to long-term changes in your body. As your stamina builds, your strength grows, and before long, what felt like a small effort becomes second nature, and your physical transformation begins to show. When we focus on small daily actions, we also remove the pressure of needing instant results. We stop getting discouraged by the lack of overnight transformation and start to trust the process. Growth becomes less about the end goal and more about the satisfaction of daily progress. And this shift in perspective is powerful because it enables us to stay on track even when immediate results aren't visible. It's important to remember that consistency is the key. One small action might not feel like much on its own, but when practiced daily, it has a cumulative effect. Let's take writing for instance. If you commit to writing just one paragraph a day, you may not feel like you're accomplishing much at first. But over the course of a month, you'll have written 30 paragraphs. Over a year, that's 365 paragraphs. And at the end of a few years, you may have written an entire book or developed a meaningful body of work. The power lies not in writing one perfect paragraph, but in showing up every single day to write something, however small. This same principle applies to any area of self-improvement. Whether it's building relationships, learning a new language, mastering a skill, or cultivating emotional resilience, the small, consistent actions you take every day are what will propel you forward. The trick is not to wait for a breakthrough, but to recognize that each step, no matter how tiny, is a breakthrough in itself. What's more, small actions make growth feel more achievable. When the goal feels too overwhelming, breaking it down into manageable bite-sized tasks makes it easier to start and sustain. The key is to begin, even if it's just with one simple action. And don't underestimate the power of repetition. Over time, as you repeat these small actions, they become habits. These habits shape your daily life and, eventually, your identity. Little by little, you transform not only your actions but also the way you see yourself. As you continue to follow through on these small promises to yourself every day, you start to embody the qualities of the person you've always wanted to be. There's a common belief that self-improvement or significant change requires a grand, life-altering event or a special moment. This idea is reinforced by New Year's resolutions, milestone birthdays, or other calendar events that signal the perfect time to start a new chapter. People wait for the stars to align, for the right time to take action. But the reality is, there's no perfect moment. The ideal time to begin your journey toward growth, change, and improvement is right now. Today, in this very moment. The truth is that waiting for a special moment often means you're waiting forever. Life is unpredictable. It doesn't slow down, it doesn't wait for you to feel ready, and it certainly doesn't provide you with a perfect opportunity to begin. If you constantly hold out for the ideal time to start something, whether it's starting a new fitness routine, learning a new skill, or addressing a bad habit, you might find yourself waiting indefinitely. Life will always throw distractions, challenges, and unexpected events your way. And if you're waiting for a perfect moment, you could easily miss the chance to start altogether. The most successful people don't wait for a special moment to act. They create their own moments. They recognize that the right time to start something is always now. They don't wait for a clean slate. They don't wait until everything is in order. And they certainly don't wait until they feel 100% motivated. Instead, they take action with what they have, where they are. Because they understand that the process of growth doesn't require perfection. It only requires the willingness to begin. Think about it. How many times have you told yourself, I'll start on Monday? Or I'll start after this busy week? These promises of starting later give us the illusion that we need some sort of external factor to make our improvement possible. But the truth is that there's never going to be a perfect time to start. There will always be something standing in the way if you let it. The only thing standing between you and your goals is your decision to take the first step right now. This doesn't mean that every decision has to be made impulsively or that you shouldn't plan. But it does mean that you shouldn't wait for some magical external factor to motivate you into action. Waiting for the perfect time can leave you stuck in a loop of procrastination, as you're constantly putting off taking action until everything's just right. But if you look closely, a just right never really comes. Let's take fitness as an example. Many people put off getting in shape because they believe they need a gym membership, fancy equipment, or a perfectly structured workout plan. They think they need to wait until they're in better shape or until they have more time. But the truth is, you can start with a simple walk around your neighborhood, some basic bodyweight exercises at home, or stretching routines that don't require any equipment. You don't need to wait until you can afford a gym membership or until you have a detailed workout schedule. Every day you wait is another day you could have spent improving your physical health, no matter how small the effort. Similarly, in other areas of life, you don't need a special moment to make progress. Want to learn a new language? Start by learning a few words a day. Want to write a book? Start by writing a sentence. Want to improve your emotional intelligence? Start by practicing mindfulness or journaling for 10 minutes each day. The key is that progress doesn't require a perfect setup or the ideal moment. It simply requires you to start. Even if you don't feel fully ready, you can still take that first step. And that step leads to another and another until you're building momentum. The important thing to remember is that starting doesn't have to be grand. You don't have to wait until everything aligns perfectly. The best time to begin is the moment you decide it's time to commit to your own growth. It means there is always space to grow, learn, and evolve. You don't have to be perfect to be your best self. You just need to be authentic, true to yourself, and committed to your own path. Embracing your individuality also means giving yourself permission to fail, learn, and try again. It means understanding that mistakes are part of the journey and not a reflection of your worth. When you compare yourself to others, failures feel more personal because they seem like a mark of inadequacy. But when you focus on your own growth, failures become opportunities for learning, not evidence that you're not good enough. You start to see setbacks as stepping stones, not as indicators that you're on the wrong path. And that mindset shift is empowering. Your best self isn't a fixed version of you. It's a constantly evolving process. It's the version of you who wakes up every day with a commitment to get better. Not because someone else is better, but because you owe it to yourself to grow, to learn, and to evolve. It's about looking at yourself not as a finished product, but as a work in progress. Every day, you become a little stronger, a little wiser, and a little more in tune with your values. That's what self-growth is all about. Continuing to grow into the person you were always meant to be, not the person someone else wants you to be. Ultimately, the journey of self-growth is about freedom. It's about releasing yourself from the burden of comparisons, the pressure of societal expectations, and the need to conform to external standards. When you stop trying to be like someone else, you give yourself the freedom to truly live as yourself. You open the door to deeper fulfillment because you're no longer chasing someone else's dreams, you're chasing your own. You're creating a life that reflects your unique passions, strengths, and values. In this way, your growth becomes both deeply personal and incredibly powerful. You're not competing with anyone. You're simply striving to become the best version of yourself, with all of your unique experiences, talents, and perspectives. Belief in yourself is the cornerstone upon which all personal growth and progress are built. Without it, every step toward improvement feels daunting. Every setback feels insurmountable, and every challenge seems impossible to overcome. But when you have confidence in your own abilities, you become unstoppable. Believing in yourself doesn't mean thinking you're perfect or that you'll never fail. It simply means trusting that you have the strength, resilience, and resourcefulness to keep going, no matter what obstacles you face. At the heart of self-belief is the understanding that you are enough, just as you are.